Okay, Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa wala. Okay, may I ask you something? Have we finished the last class, the week 3? Or still, anyone still remember? I got confused. Azhan, okay, you know,
I'm not sure, sir. Uh, I think
we finished.
we, I think there's still some slides left. I think,
Okay.
if
So
I'm
meaning
not
that
mistaken.
meaning that we are yet to finish the week number 3, yeah? Anyone can help me to determine whether we finish or not the last week, last class?
Sir,
Yes.
last week we stopped at knowledge management infrastructure.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much, brother Adik. Thank you, Muhammad Adik bin Jamaluddin. Okay, wait, Adik bin Jamaluddin. Thank you very much. I think Islam, it's your attendance. Okay. No problem. I will take note. Okay. Muhammad Adik Jamaluddin. KM infrastructure. Okay. On the cult, have we started the culture? Not yet. Adik?
In my notes, I have written until physical environment, the main point only.
The main point on the okay, not yet to the culture, yeah.
Sorry, sir, I'm not sure.
Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you. All right, I think since we yet to finish the slide presentation, I think we continue on the week 3 on the issue of knowledge management. I think from the last class, it is clear for you that in order for you to, in order for your organization, okay, let's wait, have a wait first. I think while waiting for your friend to join, it is quite distortion for me to have a serious discussion. We people keep coming. I think while you write down your name at the chat session as a proof of attendance. Okay, while waiting for your friend to join, just to share with you something that I read yesterday. Yeah, it is maybe some of you already notified about this thing. Yesterday I tried to search on the new technology trends for 2021. And the article lists down a few technologies such as the artificial intelligence and machine learning, RPA, robotic process automation. Number 3, edge computing. Number 4, quantum computing. Okay, number 5, virtual reality and augmented reality. Number 6, blockchain. Some of you know it. And number 7, IoT. Number 8, 5G. And number 9, cybersecurity. Okay, if I were you, I will be thinking how or where I can slot my skill, my specialization, my skill, my expertise into this 9. So ask yourself, if you want to make yourself marketable, employable, you can start from now. Try to have a look on this issue, on sub-issue where you can match your skills, your knowledge into this industry. Unless you can say to your interviewer, look, even though my specialization is ETM, but I am familiar with some tools that are related to this 9, for example, or 5 or 2 of it. AI, for example, IoT, blockchain. I know what IoT, focusing on API because I'm very good in Python, for example. Or security because I know about server management. I know about this thing. This. Try to ask yourself. That's why I'm going to highlight this thing many times in this class until the end of the semester. It is very important for you to know what do you know, so that you'll be able to slot your specialization into this current trend in ICT. So ask yourself, where are you? Ada lagi. That's why I'm still waiting for your friend. Before then we can straight away to to proceed with the class. Ask yourself where you're going to slot or match your specialization into this file. Okay. Or maybe if someone, how many of you capable to give answer straight away based on your understanding about the blockchain, for example, or even the quantum or edge computing. What is the difference between edge computing and cloud computing? What's the difference in that? How many of you are now familiar? For those who know about the cloud computing, how many of you are very familiar with the Microsoft Azure? I don't know I don't know whether it is the right way to pronounce it, but I think I'm not an expert like yourself. But I think ask yourself, how many of you or used to watch something from the YouTube about Microsoft Azure? How to pronounce it? Azure or Azure? Can someone help me, please?
I think last time I heard it was Microsoft Azure, but I'm not sure if
Azure.
there's another pronunciation for it.
Yeah, maybe. Alhamdulillah. I mean that I'm using the right pronunciation. Azure. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Brother Azad. Ask yourself where your current specialization, current knowledge can match into this current trend of ICT. This is a thing that you need to, that's very important. Many times as individual, ask yourself, where are your knowledge? Is it still information or already upgraded to the knowledge? Okay, how many of you capable to give your answer if someone asks you how your specialization can relate to blockchain industry? How your specialization can benefit the company from IoT industry, the edge computing industry? How your syllabuses that you learn from first year until second year, or even now third year, can prepare you to contribute effectively in these industries, RPA, edge computing, and so forth. This is very important for you to make yourself ready, so that you'll be ready and prepared, because there will be challenges await you after graduation in terms of expectation of skills. Plus, you are going to compete with seniors who lost job during the pandemic, who have been in industry for many years. You're going to compete with them because you know that. Okay, ada lagi. Okay, we know that there are many people lost job. Okay, alhamdulillah, still no problem. You can come. Yes. Okay, I think that's for while waiting for your friend. I hope that none of your friend will join late. All right. Okay, now today we continue. Okay, to our syllabus, which is on the knowledge management infrastructure. So it is clear now that from the last slide, from the last class, we discussed that among the main foundation for knowledge management implementation is you only to focus on two: solution and foundation. For the solution, you know that it are processes. I hope you are aware what are the 4 processes in knowledge management, starting with the discovery, capturing, sharing, and application. Some organizations, they focus all, some organizations, they focus one, depends on the nature of business, depends on the environment, business environment, and also depends on the culture. Okay, and stakeholders' expectation. Depends. And also the needs. The needs. What are the needs? Do they need to share only or apply or what? Okay. These are the things that need to be. Or for example, in the business which are like this 9, meaning there will be a new dimension of technologies merge from this 9, then maybe the organization need to focus on 4. to make sure that knowledge sharing, knowledge discovery, knowledge capture, and knowledge application become something common in the operation, so that all the members can think innovatively to propose the new innovative technologies. Let's say. But if the what call that, for example, the nature of business is already stagnant. For example, the PC repair company, for example, maybe the importance for the company to focus on what? Knowledge sharing, for example. You need that so that the knowledge can be leveraged between the members of organization. And this is the thing that. So solution, process, and systems. A combination of what? System? Can someone help me? What are the combination? The system is combination of what? Knowledge management system is a combination of two elements. Mechanism, yeah, good. Mechanism and technologies, very good. Thank you very much. Okay, this is a thing there. So inshallah we discover that what the definition of mechanism and those things based on understanding. I hope that try to put that in your case study report, so that when you in future, when you graduated, when you go for the interview, if your interviewer want to test your knowledge in knowledge management, because now many companies didn't know that, especially during pandemic. Many, for example, the companies still need to run, but at the same time, they need to what call that, to not set fire or to, I don't know what the right word, to fire some of the employees, and those employees have the specific skill and knowledge. They need to the director need to choose who are the best, and if the knowledge is not leveraged between individuals, the company will be facing a lot of difficulty. Okay, during now, but maybe hopefully after this, the economy will boom. Many people will go back to work. Hopefully, we pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Okay. Then they need to make sure that. That's why now many companies realize the importance of leveraging the knowledge of individuals among and other employees, so that when this thing happen again, the company will know who he can retain, because that person owns many part of other people's knowledge. He can do the job of other people. Because now we need to realize that many companies cannot afford to have the same members as they have in the past, due to the low sales, low profitability every year, annual profit, many things because of pandemic and so forth, which they cannot control. Okay, so this maybe it depends. Okay, the system mechanism, which Allah will discover that, and also foundation. There are three categories: infrastructure, mechanism, and technologies. Inshallah, we discuss about that, and today we will continue on this one of the components of the knowledge infrastructure, which is the org culture. Org culture is combination of belief and norms and belief. Yeah, norm and belief that guide the behavior of organization members. Why? For the private sector, for the government and the private sector, they have their own org culture. The org culture is normally based on the vision and mission of the company. From that vision and mission of the company or organization, they will come out with the action plans. And those action plans can be transformed into the org culture and understood by the members. That's why it's beginning. Now that you know that, are you aware? I don't know whether you are aware or not. When the new rector was appointed, Tan Sri Zul, he tried to recall back, they come up with the org culture which is hidden of IUM. You know that we have that culture already, but it is practiced not widely, not publicized among the members. Only few members know aware about that, and we We are working in silos, for example. But we have that culture, but it's hidden and understood by some of our members. Now, Dr. Prof. Zul can make it publicized, starting with the Leading the Way, Sejahtera academic framework. Many, if you go to IIM website, you can have a look on the new, even Prof. Zul tried to promote the actual 7 mission of IIM so that everybody will be aware where they are heading to. Okay, this is the culture, for example. Reflect the norm and belief that guide the behavior of organization members. Okay, and our IIM culture, we can summarize into ICCE. Okay, I hope you know about that. So for us, integration, Islamization, internalization, and comprehensive excellence, for example. So we are trying to be someone like that, to be like this is our culture. Excellence, integration, and Islamization. The norm and belief is Islam. It's Islamic culture. What Islamic culture? Hardworking, honesty, trustworthiness, amanah. Okay. Siddiq, amanah, tabligh, fatana, the attribute of the Prophet, we try to follow as we can. Okay. All the good things as mentioned as a code of conduct in our religion. It's our culture. Hardworking, punctuality. Okay, in terms of the effectiveness, in a lot of things. Because in the Al-Quran, there are many verses that ask us to be like this. Or from the Hadith, balighu anni walau ayah. We feel that it is important for us to share the knowledge between each other. That's the thing that the culture. I hope it's very. That's why it's very important when you go for the interview. Maybe normally if you are good enough, a good candidate. Maybe normally the interviewer will ask you, what are the things you want to ask? Okay, maybe you can ask about the culture of the company. And normally, the culture can be understood from the vision and mission of the organization. That's why it's very, very important for you to do homework before you go for an interview to know the culture for the organization. Okay, attribute of enabling organization culture include understanding the value and practices. In the Malaysian government or ministry, they know about this thing, but very difficult because there are many stumbling blocks at the top. Okay, from the Secretary General up to the Deputy Secretary General, who are old people, who are already in a comfort zone. Maybe in future, when the Malaysian government, politicians, they try to think on how the best way, maybe they will promote the young people who have ideas to become leaders for the ministry, then KM can be practiced in the Malaysian government sector. But now there are many people who are 56, 58, become the leaders of organization. They have the old ideas, dinosaur ideas, obsolete ideas. That's why it's very important for you to have this idea. Okay, and bring this idea, because I believe now Malaysia is still in the initial stage to practice knowledge management. There are very few organizations, but normally they are working in silos. Because of this, maybe when you become somebody in next 20 years, when you become the top, if you are working in the government sector, you are holding important posts in the government, then please, brothers and sisters, try to propose this idea, because this ada lagi. Alright, tak apalah. Alright, so try to propose this idea. Then how to implement knowledge management so that everybody can have this, at least the leverage knowledge of each other, and it becomes something rewardable to the company. Okay, at all levels, incentive that reward knowledge, sharing, encouragement of interaction for the creation and sharing of knowledge. Okay, first you need to know that you need to make sure that if you become somebody in the company or private or government, you need to ask your subordinates to classify what are your knowledge, What do you know about the job, the core business, about organization, about the stakeholders, about the know-how, about the procedural knowledge, explicit knowledge, about the many type of knowledge. Depends on the post they are holding in the government, in that organization, government or private. Then you need to come up with the repositories where people can access that knowledge. Okay, you need to sit down together with your managers and classify the relevant knowledge based on the list of you got from your from your members. These are the things that as a beginning, if you work in a private or the industry, so that people can leverage knowledge. Why? Because this thing you need to bear in mind. This thing is a part of the administration. The core business depends on the profitability. If your company is focusing on profit, then you need to think how to work together while making the profit for your organization. At the same time, try to leverage the knowledge. Okay, that's what you bear in mind. Depends. If you're working in the for example, simple company, PC repair company. Okay, you have 5 members. Everybody has a different specialization, expertise. Maybe at the same time, you cannot ignore the fact that you need to make profit to your company, so that your company will survive. At the same time, maybe you need to discuss, maybe during the lunch hour, directly or indirectly, using the technology or not, how to leverage the knowledge between each other, so that you will have the same knowledge like your friend, like your members, like your colleagues, and your colleague will have the same knowledge like you. And when you absent or resign or retire whatsoever, then that company can still survive because there is no vacuum of knowledge. There's no vacuum of expertise because of that. All right. So coming back for that, after we identify what are the norms and beliefs for our company, first, the core business of company is to produce graduates, for example. IIM, to produce graduate or university or educational institution to produce graduate. Let's say you are working in a private university. Among the core business of private university is to produce graduate and make money, because the private university cannot survive with do not receive any grant from the government to pay the stipend for the lecturers, for the staff. No, produce student and make money. How to make sure that these two become the core business of your organization. At the same time, KM will become the engine to support this core business. Okay, you cannot just ignore. I just want to focus on KM. No. Your core business is to make profit and produce students. So the knowledge management is just an engine behind the organization to ensure all the process becomes smoother. Okay, all the operation can become facilitated. Because why? Because everybody knows what he knows, okay, or she knows, and everybody else, and he's willing to share his expertise to other people, so that everybody can have the same level of knowledge, can operate effectively, even can produce something new for the betterment of organization. Okay, so after that, we need to identify, we need to improve. If your company really serious to implement knowledge management, the company need to focus on this topic, which is org structure. Okay, hierarchy structure of the organization affects the people with whom individual frequently interact, and to or from whom they are constantly likely to transfer knowledge. Very sad to say that in the government, everything must be top down. Okay, and there are a lot of bureaucracy red tapes in the government sector, especially from different positions. Okay, normally the meeting between to transfer the knowledge become something ceremonial. It is not community or practice whatsoever. It depends on the your level. What are your level? What's your grade? Are you grade 41 or 44, 48? 52, 54, Jusa C, Jusa A. Do you know about this thing, brothers and sisters? For Malaysian, I want to ask. Ahmad Naufal, are you Malaysian?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay. So sorry. Do you know about this grade in government?
Yes, yes.
So what the highest grade for administration in the government?
If I'm not mistaken, like something like Turus satu.
Yes, Turus Satu is one. Before after Turus Satu, the highest KSN,
Oh, I
Chief
don't know.
National Secretary. That's the
Alright.
highest one, and then after that, Turus Satu, Turus Dua, Turus Tiga. Turus Satu normally goes to the what call that, the Peguam Negara, Attorney General, or even the KPN, Ketua Polis Negara. Okay, this is a thing. Yeah, Alhamdulillah, you're aware about this thing. Thank you very much. Alhamdulillah, very good. Okay, so depend on grade, and most of the time it's very difficult. That's why I'm always I would like to advise you, when you become somebody in the government, try to think the best way to improvise the structure of the government. Okay, because if there's a top down, it's very difficult normally. Normally you don't receive the knowledge, you receive the directive, orders. That's all. But maybe you can think how to make sure that knowledge can be transferred or leveraged between the same posts, the same grades, 41 amount of 41, 48 amount of 48, 44 amount of 44, 48, 52 amount of 40, 52, 54 amount of 44, and then this need to be synchronized. Maybe in terms of structure, maybe on the culture, depends. Okay, structure can facilitate KM through community of practice. How? As mentioned to you, between the same grades, between the different grades, maybe you can have a day where everybody can speak. This depends on your creativity. Org structure can facilitate KM through specialized structure and role that specifically support knowledge management. So I hope that you have ideas on how to apply this KM in your imaginary IT company. Not because of the grade, brothers and sisters. This knowledge, this thing is something that you can offer in addition to your technical skill when you go for the interview. If the interviewer asks you what other than your programming skill, your IT skill, what are the things that you can benefit my company? Let's say the CEO is doing the interview, my company. Sir, you can say that one of the thing that I know is about knowledge management. I know that after the pandemic, during the pandemic, after the pandemic, the post-pandemic, we need to make sure that KM is seriously implemented in any organization, so that when this thing happen again, in wa'iyaz-billah, the company ready to face it. Okay. Even though we want people, because they have the efficient knowledge to run the company, they know. But because now everybody is working in silos, your knowledge, my knowledge. Okay, this is the thing that you can think, you can discuss on how to, in practicality, to implement knowledge management in that particular organization. Okay, so this is the thing can become an added value to support your employability after graduation. Okay, so that you will understand how you can survive in the industry. All right. Okay, the infrastructure. Another thing, the IT infrastructure. Now, this is very important. This is the thing that you need to do when you do presentation. In the report, case study report, you can just maybe propose in one page the type of technology, IT technology that you want to use, the name of the system, okay, why you want to choose the system. But when you do presentation, I want to see simple KM processes that your system can do. Maybe if you are good enough, maybe you can choose 4 KM processes. I don't know whether you are aware or not. Let's test first. What are the core? All right, let's have a look. Nur Alifa Iliana, Can you tell? I mentioned just now KM processes. Can you tell me what are the 4 processes?
Ah, I'm not sure.
You're not sure. It is stated, mentioned. Are you with me, sister?
Yes.
I mentioned, do you, meaning that you do not understand at all what I had my lecture, because I mentioned many times 4 processes, 4 KM process. Can someone help me? Help her? What are 4 processes?
Discovery, application, capturing, and sharing.
Good, very good, Mama Anaufa. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, thank you, Mama Alpha. So, okay, I'm not blaming you. Maybe my method of lecturing does not encourage you to listen. I'm sorry for that. Maybe my weaknesses. I'm so sorry about that. Because if after we almost finished the week 3, and I mentioned I think many dozens of time about KM processes. If you are still not sure, so I consider that's my weaknesses. I'm so sorry about that. For the rest, please inform me the way. I don't know. Maybe that I'm the old person. Maybe that's the way I convey my lecture. I don't know how to play a trick. I don't know how to play the circus tricks, for example, to include all the to make my lecture interesting. I have only the spirit and enthusiasm to make sure that my students are employable. My student can survive in the uncertain industry. So I don't know, man. I consider the way why you do not know, you are not aware, as my weaknesses. So I'm so sorry about that. I think if you feel that it is not worth for you to be in my class due to my board lecture, I think do not waste your time, brothers and sisters. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. I need to be clear, because if you do not cannot give attention, take a note, okay, then maybe something, because these 4 processes are very important. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. This the thing that we need to bear in mind. Bear in mind, even though it is not the memorization, but at least you know something in your mind. Okay, so I think no problem. Just ignore about that. I consider it's my weaknesses to make my class interesting enough to make sure that everybody can give more attention to it. No problem. Okay. So when you have realized, when you do your case study report, okay, then maybe you can put 1 page about this IT technologies, IT infrastructure, and then when you do presentation, I want to see how your company is capable to use this IT tool, which you got from software.net, the open source software repositories, to support either one from the or either all processes or only one process from KM processes. You can choose share, you can choose apply, you can choose discover, you can choose the the sharing. Okay, this is the thing that. So this I want to see simple presentation. Okay, because I read the report, then I want to see how you want to practice that. Okay, how you want to make sure that the processes of knowledge management can be supported by your system. Okay, maybe your company want to focus on capturing the system, the knowledge, then you can do that. Okay, it provide the IT the rich depth richness aggregation. Inshallah, this thing you can read by in your textbook and apply. I want to see it if possible in your report. And one of the things is common knowledge. Okay, in order for organization to have the common knowledge, they need to identify the type of knowledge that the members have. Okay, the type of knowledge that the members have. Okay, it's very important. In order for that, it must come. The mandate must come from the top, from the CEO, from the Secretary General, and so forth. Okay, everybody must categorize what do you know, what he knows. Okay, the type and maybe the top management can classify the type of knowledge and ask to facilitate the task, categorize the main knowledge, and ask the employees to match where does his knowledge suit into those categories, and then create the sub knowledge. Okay, for example, in the IT PC repair company, you classify your specialization into the, for example, motherboards, PC assembly, meaning that motherboard you are repairing the circuit on that, for example. Okay, or you are I don't know, overclock that. Okay, and some people, some employee, they know about the processor, Intel, AMD, whatsoever, for example, and some networking. Okay, the organization, they categorize the knowledge, and then the employee will identify, we will highlight the sub knowledge that he knows. Okay, repairing the PC with this motherboard problem, for example. How? What are the things that need to know? The method. Okay, these are the common knowledge. In a big organization like Petronas, they have various departments, various units, like from the mechanical engineering to the civil engineering to the chemical engineering to the administration, human resource, many. There's sub knowledge on that. You can see the big company, even for the ministry, they have the various divisions: procurement division, development division, human resource administration division. They have what? They have the normally they have the PRO division. They have the legal division. They have what? The office of the minister division, office of minister. What else? They have many sub-divisions, and those divisions, they have units. They have units. Even for the simple human resource and administration division, they have sub-units. Many unit of professional development, unit of supporting staff development, unit of payroll, unit. There are a lot of units. So it is not easy for this issue, for the common knowledge. A manager needs to understand, need to know what are the type of division and the potential knowledge of each division has. Common knowledge is also referred to as cumulative experience in comprehending a category of knowledge and activities. Every division, units, they have their own activities and knowledge. And you can see the difficulty, the very complex process, if and why, and the reason why until now many government sectors still at the initial stage to implement knowledge management, because the process is very huge. Even because at the same time they need to cater their core business. This thing is like meaning that the car is already can be driven by someone else. You can drive that car, like consider ministry as a car, but the engine is not, it's the old engine. And you are trying to improve the engine by using, we can say, knowledge management. Okay, you cannot. The car must be driven on the road. You must run. Okay, you need to be driven by a driver. At the same time, you need to repair. That's why it takes time. The core business is to make sure the car can be driven on the road by the driver. Okay, you can make sure car is working, car is functioning. At the same time, you want to improve the engine by repairing the components inside the car. Okay, so that the car will become smoother, become more powerful in the future to the direction. That's one of the difficulty why many companies at the initial stage, because it's not easy. Because then for the private sector, the main concern is how to make money from, the profitability, how to survive, how to succeed, how to provide services, product, whatsoever, to sell, marketing. At the same time, this thing also required. Okay, I hope that you understand. Not only because when you work, you will focus on knowledge management. No. Your main focus may be to make sure that the company will have profit at the end of the year. That's your core work. But at the same time, you as a member organization of that company want to make sure that how to make sure the survivability of the company if thing happens, to improve the performance of the company through the knowledge management. Okay, this is a thing that you bear in mind. The profit must be there, the core business must be the priority. The thing that you're doing, we are discussing for this semester, is about the internal or even the external and internal configuration within the company to make sure that the company can survive, the company can go forward, can improve, can develop, can succeed, okay, in the future. All right. The common knowledge is not easy. It's very, you can imagine it, even in your imaginary IT company, it is not easy for you to identify what are to imagine but my suggestion is that you need to look at your organizational structure. From the CEO, what are the type of CEO, you need to know the vision of work. Okay, the portfolios for each division or each post. Then after identify the portfolios of each division, then you can suggest the type of knowledge that those people need to have in order to function effectively in the organization. All right. Okay, we have a few slides. I intend to finish by today. And also another physical environment, design of building, or the separation between the employees, location, size, type of office, type, number, or nature. Okay. In another study found the most employees thought they gain most of their knowledge related to work from informal conversation around water coolers or over meals instead of formal training and manual. This is I think the one of famous study, one of the study identified. Okay, you learn. You learn when you in the informal situation. You learn more. So as a manager, when in future, maybe when you are holding the important post, try to think what are the best physical environments that you may have in the organization so that everybody can interact about knowledge. Not about gossiping, but no, about knowledge, new knowledge. But that's why from the org culture, org structure, common knowledge, everything is interrelated. Let's say you have the open physical environment where everybody can chit-chat. How many percentage you can ensure those chatting involve knowledge management, knowledge bit about the company, or knowledge on how to do things? No, I don't think so. Maybe most of them membawang. Okay, most of them are just gossiping. Okay, so this is a thing that is very important. Org culture, where everybody must have the same culture, the willingness, the desire, the spirit, the enthusiasm to make sure that everybody will be in the same direction, to make sure the company is successful. That's the reason why many companies they prefer people with good attitude, especially loyalty. Okay. For me myself, I consider myself as loyal employee because I believe that IUM is one of the, for me lah. I'm not going to, inshallah, I will not go anywhere else. If other university, even with a good salary, offer me to do that because I'm happy with the environment here. Okay, the environment, that's the thing, that the loyalty. When you are loyal to the organization, you will be thinking on how to do extra work to make sure the company becomes successful. For me, I'm a principal Mahallah at the same time. I'm also, my concern is my student, how they will face the challenges during the interview based on the thing that they know now. That's my concern. Okay, that's why always you can ask your seniors who used to be in my class. That's my concern. I always mention about interview, how you get a job. That's my employability. That's why unless you are coming from a wealthy family, you don't care about getting a job, you already have the post prepared by your father or mother, then you have no worry. I'm talking about majority of students who are coming from the middle class family, okay, who rely on your performance, who rely on you to improve their life. So this is the thing that mean that you need to have extra effort to be at the same par with those of people who are already privileged in their life, who have privilege in their life. Okay, so if you don't care about the lectures, don't care about the courses, sleeping while listening to the lectures, then alhamdulillah, in front of Allah, say I have done my job. Your attitude push you for stop you from going forward, actually. Why? Because you have no spirit to improve yourself. Okay, so this is the thing that you bear in mind. Okay, that's the thing that that's the importance of loyalty. So as coming back to physical environment, okay, try to think. That's why it is in the letter. If you have only focus on physical environment, then there will be place, your office become a place for gossiping. Because why? Because your members, your staff does not have the right culture. Okay, this is a thing very important. Okay, this is the one of the what we call that summary for KM infrastructure. Understand the value of KM practice. Why we need to have leveraging of knowledge. Maybe every week or every day before you start your work, the CEO or the owner of the company or the managers need to brief all staff why we need to have this thing, so that everybody will know. Maybe not today, tomorrow, not tomorrow, next week, next 2 weeks. Okay, the importance of why we need to leverage knowledge for our company to survive. Okay, management support for KM at all levels, from the top, middle, and lower. Okay, so that people will know the importance, why we need to work together, why we need to have the same knowledge, why we need to not be selfish in to keep the knowledge for ourselves, why we need to share the thing that we know to other people, other colleagues, and so forth. And maybe in terms of incentive. Okay, if you share knowledge, you will have the 2 points. If you put something in the repositories for on know-how knowledge or explicit your tacit knowledge, you transfer to explicit knowledge, then there will be point for your promotion, point for your salary increment, for example. Reward knowledge. Even the punishment. If you share nothing, meaning that you will be given after 3 months, you'll be given a show cause letter. For example, that punishment. And the show cause letter will be put in your profile. and it will affect your promotion. This example. Org structure, for example, that's either decentralization, matrix structure. Maybe I hope you know already what does it mean by centralization, decentralization. Okay, whatever structure they have, they need to support the communities of practice. Communities of practice. Okay. I know we discussed already what a community. I'm not going to ask you, otherwise I will get the same answer. Not sure. Okay. IT infrastructure in terms of reach, depth, richness, aggregation, you can discuss with your core business. You know about that. What do you mean by reach? How to reach what the stakeholders, individuals, members. Okay. Depth, the level of how depth the knowledge can be shared. Okay, the level of knowledge, categories of knowledge, richness, and also aggregation. Inshallah, you can. This thing is available in your textbook. I will give to you. Maybe I will be asking about this thing. What does it mean by rich, deep, aggregation in your, I don't know, maybe. Okay, I'm not. The reason why I have a reason why I do not want to elaborate it. I leave it to you to read by yourself. Okay. Common knowledge and vocabularies, yeah. I mentioned to you, in order for you to have the common knowledge, identify the common knowledge, your organization must understand the portfolios of each division and units. Okay. Shared norms and so forth, physical environment and so forth. Okay. Now we go to mechanism. Okay, mechanism are and structure means use the sorry mechanism. We did finish, but org culture maybe in the next class we'll be asking you what are the 4 components of KM infrastructure. I hope you'll be able to answer org culture, org infrastructure, okay, common knowledge and physical environments. Okay, hope this is a thing that, or maybe you, after doing your case study, you identify the new things that need to be included under the domain of KM infrastructure. Then you can do that, no problem, based on your imaginary IT core business. Okay, this is the mechanism. Org and structure means to use to promote knowledge management. They enable KM system. They are themselves support KM structure. KM mechanism may or may not utilize technology, but they do involve some kind of organization arrangement or social or structure mean of facility. And this is an example. Learning by doing, on-the-job training, learning by observation, face-to-face, hiring CKO, employee rotation. This is an example. Okay. How they want to implement. I still remember when the laboring job, like myself, when I did my PhD, I used to become a cleaner and also the sorter loader as part-timer to support my life. Okay, because the salary is not enough in UK. Okay, as a cleaner, I used to work here in a different building, doing the different cleaning job. When I go to the UPS as sorter loader, at the East Midland Airport. I used to work in primary. I used to work unloading, uploading. I used to do the small unit, small because small is for the letters whatsoever. I used to more to the the extra load, 100 kilos and above, employee rotation. Okay, this is the way to make sure that they have everybody will have the knowledge, even the laboring job in some companies. Okay, face-to-face meeting, for example, they will call the expert in the area. They will call you. No, today we want to brief you about this task. Okay, take note and learn. Or learning by observation. Even I was told that even when I was cleaner, for example, simple task. The supervisor will, before we do the job, the supervisor will teach us in 20 minutes on how to the best way to do the job. Mopping, sweeping, cleaning, whatsoever. That's a thing, learning by observation. On the job training, of course, learning by doing. This is an example of KM mechanism. So please, brothers and sisters, you please include based on the relevancy of your imaginary IT company, okay, or the core business, then you can think on where, what example is, how this example can become your method. KM technologies are IT that can be used to facilitate knowledge management. They focus on knowledge management and information processing, knowledge management. IT to make sure that the knowledge for knowledge processes can be executed. Okay. Normally they have for example, AI, electronic discussion group, computer-based, for forum, for example, Web 2.0, wikis, blogs, repositories. This is an example of the knowledge that support KM. All right. Okay, KM technologies. Sorry. Technology supported direction include expert knowledge embedded in expert system and region support system. Okay, as well as troubleshooting system. Facilitate the technology that facilitate routines. Okay, there are two directions. Technology, there are two things that they support in knowledge management: direction and routines. Okay. The example, what are direction? Example of direction, the systems such as DSS, decision support system, or troubleshooting system. Okay, and then routine, expert system, enterprise resource planning. You can Google it. You can open source enterprise resource planning. You can see a few system relevant. Okay. Management of KM Foundation. Okay, now we almost come to the end of this class. Inshallah, we'll stop at 9:30. Okay. Management of KM Foundation, infrastructure and mechanical technologies. Underlying foundation. This is the concluding remarks. Okay, all common get affect not only KM but also all other operations, top management. Your core business, profit and survivability is one of the things that you need to do. What is your core business? If you focus on the service, then service is your core business. KM is just an engine and so forth. Balance between all of that. So this is the conclusion. Alhamdulillah, we've done all these things. I hope that you need to read something as well. You have the textbook. I already upload the textbook in your iTa'lim. You have no other excuse not to read it. What happened? Stop presenting. Yeah, you need to read it. I don't know how many percent, the percentage of your. I don't know. That's not my concern. I think I base on trust. If you feel that, I think if you feel that you are benefiting nothing from my class, you can have two options. You can drop the class or you can sleep while I give a lecture. I don't mind. Okay, because you are matched student. You already passed first and second level. You are in the brink of graduation. You are already almost graduated. You're one of your step already in the industry. So ask yourself, how ready are you to enter the industry? First, with your knowledge. Second, with your attitude. Third, with your preparation, mental and physical preparation to work, to contribute in that particular industry. If you have the same attitude as first year student, then something wrong somewhere. If you realize you need to improve it. If you realize, okay, it's up to you. You are on your own. But what can I do in this another session? Now session, if not mistaken, session number 5, number 4, 6. Mean that we have another 20 session. I can admonish you and can advise you. But if you feel, that's why there are two options. Okay, you can drop the class if you feel nothing you benefit from my class for your future employment, then you can drop my class. Second, if you feel but you cannot because KM is one of the requirement for your specialization, then you can off the video and sleep. Okay, but do not blame me if you got the low remarks in your, because if you fulfill all the requirement and you are not sleeping partner, the minimum you can get in my class is B+, the minimum. Because I'm not here to punish you, I'm here to facilitate your position as a student. Okay, so this is the thing that I hope that you bear in mind. The future is very uncertain. There are a lot of challenges await you. If you're coming from middle class family or even from the poor family, your parents rely on you, you need to triple up your effort. If the normal student read 1 hour, you need to read 3 hours or study 3 hours, think more hours. Okay. If you're coming from a wealthy family, there is already position prepared by your father in his company, then tell me. You can WhatsApp me personally, sir, I'm from the wealthy family. Do not ask me anything. Exclude my name from your list of potential respondent from for the question. Yeah, no problem. You can, I mean that you can just come to my class just to take attendance and go. No problem, because you already, the position already there for you. You have nothing to worry. But if you're coming from the middle class family, the parents put a high hope on you to improve your family life, then be serious. Okay, it's now it's not a time for you to do honeymoon. You are at the brink of graduation. You are almost graduated, 4th and 3rd year student. Some of you are already FYP2. Next semester, you will do your internship. Okay, so this is a thing that I'm not going to give you. Maybe the mistake from my side, because I fail to motivate, to create the environment, the interesting environment for my class so that everybody will. But no problem. No, thank you very much. I think that's all from me. Any question? I hope all of you already write down your name at the chat section as proof of attendance. If yes, I think that's all. If you already write it down, we adjourn the class with tasbih, kifarah, and surah al-Asr. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka. Baik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal 'asri innal insana lafi khusr illa allazina amanu wa 'amilus salihat wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. Okay, thank you very much, brothers and sisters. You may leave now.